Hello and welcome to Third Shift Comics. Today I will be summarizing issue 3 and 4 of Joe Kelly's Amazing Spider-Man run. After that I will give a few of my opinions on the issue, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and comment any video recommendations you would like me to do. Thank you and enjoy. This issue starts off with a memory from a time when Peter was using Uncle Ben's army jacket after Uncle Ben had died, and Aunt May tells him that that's not his. Peter states that it was in a closet somewhere, and Aunt May starts to attack him over it. The present Peter clarifies that this is not how it happened, and Itsy Bitsy is currently beating Peter left and right, and Peter starts to realize that it's getting harder for him to know what is real and what isn't. She kicks Peter away and explains that she's back now after Deadpool had killed her. Then shoots a barrage of razor webbing at Shay and the Rhino, which Spidey barely saved Shay from. Shay asked Spidey why he didn't save Rhino, and he tells her that Rhino has impenetrable skin. And then out of nowhere, a attached razor web is yanked and Spidey is thrown through a window into a room with multiple bodies. Then, when he is back in the room with Rhino and Shay, Itsy is on top of Rhino and states that she's going to have to perform a lobotomy to kill him because of his skin. At this time, a squad of guards with sonic guns come in and fire at Itsy. Spidey asks what she wants from Rhino, and she deflects with some quips and knocks Spidey out cold. Spider-Man wakes up on a bridge where Itsy is sitting next to him and says that Shay and Rhino are alive, and the next time he ever gets in her way, she's going to have to kill him. Then she pushes him off the bridge. Over at Aunt May's apartment, Peter comes shambling in soaking wet and asks if he can crash for the night. She lets him, and Shay calls Peter but leaves a voicemail because Peter knocks out immediately. We get another memory of Uncle Ben and Peter in an argument over the army jacket, and Peter storms off in the memory. But in the present, Aunt May walks up to Peter's door and is contemplating going in and talking to Peter about how concerned she is for Peter lately. But Peter is gone. Then we switch over to Norman's lab where Peter is getting field dressed by Norman himself. Norman tells Peter that a FDA building blew up and that Itsy was seen heading that way an hour beforehand. Norman states that everyone except one division got out. That division was the ones that handle beverage regulations. Norman and Peter put together how Rhino was poisoned and asks Norman to research Queen's Cola for him. Peter deduces that Rhino was poisoned by accident and it happened by him drinking too many sodas from Queen's Cola. Then we switch over to Brian's lab where Peter has him analyze Queen's Cola to see if there's any drugs in it that could cause hallucinations. Peter states that if there's nothing that he will resign tomorrow. Spidey swings over to Queen's Cola and starts deducing and asking questions about why anyone would want to poison their own customers when a voice answers the question for him out loud. Peter realizes that wasn't in his head and looks back and sees the Hobgoblin. This issue was fun, it had a lot of action in it in the very beginning. The only thing I don't like about it is it's kind of rushing the storyline, but I understand that it's a 5-arc storyline. The art, once again, is amazing. Pepe Larraz just does an amazing job. The one gripe I have is Peter only really interacts with Norman this entire issue. He ghosts Aunt May after waking up from asking to crash on her couch, which I don't believe is Peter-like, but I understand that he's not in the right state of mind. Other than that, the story was very straightforward, very to the point. I love that we're introducing Hobgoblin again. Still one of my favorite villains for Peter to fight against, minus Mysterio. But other than that, I think this issue is, honestly, if you've already got the first two, you might as well grab this one and complete the run. It's turning out splendid so far. I'd give this issue a 6 out of 10. I like it a lot with the new interesting backstory we're getting with Peter, but I think it's getting a little ham-fisted with all of the flashbacks and memories. This issue opens with Peter's boss, Maria Osmani Milton, telling Brian that they are probably going to have to let Peter go. But right as she says this, the test results for the soda come back and that confirms that Peter was drugged. Then we switch back to Hobgoblin and Spider-Man fighting, with Spider-Man barely being able to dodge Hobgoblin's swings and punches. Spidey asks him what he's trying to do here, and Hobgoblin says that, "You tell me your blood is thick with about 100 cases worth of the stuff. Why would I sell anxiety in a can?" And tells the guards to not shoot the equipment or they will die too. Spidey swings into the rafters where Peter's hallucinations are starting to kick back in as he is trying to think through the problem. He sees him and Brian hanging out and realizes his clarity is gone. Hobgoblin successfully kicks him from the rafters and Spidey falls through a memory of Aunt May and Uncle Ben talking about Peter's behavior. Then he slams into the ground. Spidey pleads with his brain to just stay present as the Hobgoblin throws 2 pumpkin bombs that narrowly miss Spidey. He flings himself under some equipment. Itzy shows up and tells Hobgoblin that they have a problem, that their friend at the feds just notified her that some scientists have info on the soda and they are from Rand Enterprises, and that someone is on the way there to meet with them to talk. Itzy states that she can't get there fast enough, but Hobgoblin could. Hobgoblin tells her that either Spider-Man or her dies tonight. Spidey is in a catatonic state and isn't moving even after she rips the equipment out from over him. Spidey is currently hallucinating all the people he's failed and lost, such as Uncle Ben, Shay, Harry, Ben Reilly, Captain Stacy, and finally Gwen and Mary Jane. While this is going on, Itzy states that this is just disappointing and that she will have to make do, and punches Spidey across the room and into another memory, one where Peter takes his first drink of beer and gets drunk with Brian and some friends. All the while, in reality, he's getting the snot beat out of him. Peter throws up in his memory and it triggers another where he is back at home and Aunt May is with him in the restroom while he's throwing up into the toilet. She's talking to him about growing up and that he shouldn't be pushing them away like he is, stating that no matter what he does, they're still going to love him. Then Peter says, "Until you're gone," revealing that he's doing it because he's afraid of losing them too. Then he hugs Aunt May, with Peter telling Aunt May that he's sorry. And then his mind clicks back to normal and he's hugging Itzy and she freaks out because he retracts his apology, stating that wasn't for her. Spidey is back to normal now, dodging all of her attacks left and right, and webs her to a wall and takes off after Hobgoblin, stating that he's not losing another friend. This issue once again has a lot of action and I really love it. I also love the panels where both the memories and reality are in parallel with each other, with Peter's body positioning lining up in each. I like the new history we're getting, and it shows that Peter was a rebellious kid like most of us were. It makes him more relatable. Other than that, again, Larraz is killing it with the art. The story is heading in a okay direction. I'm not going to say it's the greatest thing ever, but it's still worth a read. I do highly recommend picking it up in a comic book store or online if you have to. Overall, I would give this issue a 6 out of 10. It's wrapping up the story pretty nicely. The action's great. Art is amazing. Thank you for watching, and I just wanted to remind everyone that if you haven't already, to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment or just like the video. Thanks.